As a teacher, I can often tell how students feel about my class by reading their body language. Just like our body language in a classroom can send a sign about how we are feeling, so too does how we treat the Sabbath day send a signal to God about our feelings for Him. In fact, the Lord said, "Hallow my Sabbaths, and they shall be a sign between me and you." In Doctrine and Covenants, the Lord teaches some important principles about the Sabbath day. "And that thou mayest more fully keep thyself unspotted from the world, thou shalt go to the house of prayer, and offer up thy sacraments upon my holy day. For verily, this is a day appointed unto you, to rest from your labors, and to pay thy devotions unto the Most High. On this, the Lord's day, thou shalt offer thine oblations and thy sacraments unto the Most High." I love the idea that the Sabbath is a day to pay our devotions to God. To me, that means that the Sabbath is an opportunity to show my devotion to God by having some special focus and connection with Him. I admire how my wife Lonnie has, for many years, used the Sabbath day as a time for focused devotion to God. Lonnie, what would you share with us about this topic?
A son of one of my friends told his mom that he hated Sunday because he was not allowed to do anything. And his mom was sad because she realized that in their home, Sunday had become a day of saying don't. Does this situation sound familiar? If we focus on all the things we can't do on Sunday, we may miss valuable opportunities to help ourselves or children engage in meaningful activities. What can we do to make the Sabbath a delight? President Nelson taught.
We make the Sabbath a delight when we teach the gospel to our children. Our responsibility as parents is abundantly clear. As you teach the gospel, you will learn more. This is the Lord's way of helping you to comprehend His gospel. Such study of the gospel makes the Sabbath a delight. This promise pertains regardless of family size, composition, or location.
One thing that we've enjoyed in our family is what we call Sunday stations. It was an idea given in a church magazine a few years ago. In this activity, we rotate among 4 activities, spending 15 minutes at each one. The specific activities at the stations may be tailored to each family and can change from week to week. Sunday stations entail rotating between 15-minute activities, for example, 15 minutes of reading or reporting on a general conference talk, 15 minutes of writing missionaries or relatives, 15 minutes of learning from a gospel art picture, 15 minutes of family history like journaling, indexing, learning from books about ancestors. This is something that's helpful for children, teenagers, and adults. We can think of specific activities like studying Preach My Gospel or watching videos from the church, reading church magazines, or playing gospel games, and then spend a little bit on each activity on the Sabbath day. Sunday stations help us to cover multiple activities and not let one drag on too long. Every person and family will choose different activities for the stations and choose different activities for the rest of the day. For example, with energetic children, it may be helpful to get out of the house and have a meaningful field trip or Sunday-appropriate outing for a different teaching venue. Visiting a cemetery or a family with a newborn baby can remind us of how mortal life begins and ends. Peaceful gardens can help us ponder the creation and the atonement. On temple grounds, we can reflect on eternity and the ordinances and covenants needed for exaltation. Of course, paying a visit to grandparents or relatives where possible can enrich our Sabbath experience and can help to strengthen family ties. On such visits, relatives can share stories from their lives and lessons they've learned. In addition, you might consider inviting people to come visit you. We have enjoyed inviting recently returned missionaries to come to our home and tell us experiences from their missions. Many returned missionaries appreciate opportunities to share their experiences. As we have done this, it has been a great time to capture the power and strong faith of these great returned missionaries. A fun way to help the Sabbath become a delight is to play gospel games. Almost any game you enjoy can become a fun way to learn about gospel principles. For example, the game 20 Questions can be turned into a gospel game by using a character, place, or object in the scriptures. Have somebody choose one of these things without telling anyone, and then have family members ask yes or no questions about what they chose so they can try and guess what it is. Whoever guesses the correct answer in fewer than 20 questions can choose the next person, place, or thing for the others to ask questions about and guess. Before going on to the next person, consider sharing a lesson you've learned from what you chose. Another game could be Reverse Gospel Pictionary, where you draw stories from the scriptures and then have people guess what story it was. These types of games seem to span all ages. Whatever activities we choose, we can have great joy in the Sabbath day. President Russell M. Nelson taught,
Faith in God engenders a love for the Sabbath. Faith in the Sabbath engenders a love for God. A sacred Sabbath truly is a delight.
There really is something special about the Sabbath day. We don't have our regular obligations, which can free up time to do these most important things to strengthen our faith. Recently, President Nelson invited us to increase our faith in Jesus Christ. What a wonderful gift in the Sabbath we have to do just that. What will you do this Sabbath to increase your faith in Jesus Christ?
For more specific ideas for Sabbath day activities, click the link in the description.